I had a great aunt who was instrumental in my growing up, and that was my Aunt Lou. She had no children, and I was her nephew, but I was also her godson. And man, she took it really seriously. And my dad, who was 94 years old and still in my life and was a great father and a great provider, he just wasn't around all the time. And I think, and this is just me going back over my own history, I think my Aunt Lou saw this and was concerned that I was not being taught the things that a young boy should be taught in a kind of a timely manner. It was my Aunt Lou who taught me how to, well, she was the first person I ever played catch with a baseball and glove. She taught me how to run a lawnmower, crank a lawnmower, and run that. Service was her way of showing love, and she mowed. She had three sisters, my Aunt Lila and my Aunt Euphrazine and my grandmother Betty, and she mowed all of their yards. And she had a Ford Falcon with a station wagon, and the lawnmower just lived in the back with the handle sticking up through she'd roll the window up, they'd be sticking, and that damn thing had a steering wheel that big on it. And Aunt Lou was not even 5 feet tall. And I can remember like being on Thomasville Road in Tallahassee and seeing her driving, and all you would see her was her hands up on the steering wheel. Yeah. But she taught me how to hammer. Man, I have, believe me, I have driven 1 million nails now in my life. And every time I swing a hammer, I swear I think about her, and she said, use your elbow, don't use your wrist. And man, and then when I got to be 16 years old, she was a confidant. And when I got to be 16 years old, I would go by her house, and I got to smoke cigarettes and drink beer at her house. That was always fun. But anyhow, Aunt Lou had a secret. And in the South, well, it's different up here. If y'all have a secret here in Vermont, that means nobody knows about it. It's a secret. But in the South, if you have a secret, everybody knows about it. You just don't talk about it. My grandmother's sister, Auntie Lou, she wore men's slacks and loafer shoes. She had button-down shirts and a short hairdo. And us kids, we never thought nothing of it. Nobody ever dared say that word whenever we talked about her. The truth, it wasn't nothing we ever even whispered. And so we just buried it with her. Aunt Lou was born in 1906. She looked so pretty in the photographs, and her eyes were like little windows to the past. And only now do I see the sorrow. Well, nobody ever dared say that word whenever we talked about her. The truth, it wasn't nothing we ever even whispered. And so we buried it with her. Martini in her left hand, a cigarette there in her right. Well, she's driving home alone on a Saturday night. Aunt Lou could saw a board, she could drive a nail, she could run a chainsaw, make a football sail, and put a worm on a hook and cook a steak on a grill. And she could chop wood like nobody ever dared say that word whenever we talked about her. The truth, it wasn't nothing we ever even whispered. And so we buried it with her. Well, nobody ever dared say that word whenever we talked about her. The truth, it wasn't nothing we ever even whispered. So we just buried it with her.